All right, good day and good morning. This is Chris Palmer with a SEO tutorial for 2019. This will be the on-page SEO tutorial, how to rank on the first page of Google with WordPress or any other website faster using proper on-page SEO, and that will be in today's SEO on-page tutorial for 2019, how to rank your website #1. Let's get into it. So, when you're thinking of your on-page SEO, you need to take a different approach. There's not a lot of guys out there, using this type of method. I really don't know what they're using. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but this is the method that I would use. When you're looking at your on-page, you need to take more of a mathematical approach to your on-page SEO, because remember, Google is an algorithm, it is a computer, and it thinks as a computer, so should you. You really need to break things down using a mathematic strategy when thinking about anything related to SEO, backlinks, external, on-page. Everything is mathematical. Everything is broken down very simply. So in today's example for this on-page SEO guide for 2019, how to rank your website #1 on Google using WordPress or any other website in 2019, I want you guys to take a mathematical approach to this. And the keyword that I'm going to use as an example is best cheap plunger. I thought that would be fun. So let's do that. One of the first things I generally do, obviously you would have already done your competition analysis. You would have already did your keyword analysis, okay, your keyword, your competition, everything should be done. Let's say this is your keyword. We're just using this as an example. So the very first thing you need to do is you should use a template, maybe a template like the one that I use. This is the template that I use. The keyword, pages to rank, types of keywords. This is what I use. And to use a mathematical approach, what you would simply do is remember that Google is showing you the pages that they want to see. Okay? So always keep that in mind. They're giving you the blueprint to ranking. This is key information. So one of the first things that I like to do, once I've done all the other research, is you need to go take a look at the SERP. This is most important. So I put in my keyword up here, I did a search, very simple. Now what you're looking for are the pages that maybe aren't DA82 like this page here. This guy's here because he has powerful backlinks, okay? Obviously, he's a powerful page. What you need to look at is the pages that are on the first page because of their on-page SEO. And that's the whole topic of this. So this guy has a PA23, a DA39. This is DA93, DA80, DA73. Here's a DA32, okay? And then here's a DA39. So what I would do is I would open these pages that I think that, they're a little bit weaker with their off page, and they're probably here because their on page is on point. So I would open up 3. Generally, I open up 3. I would find 3 pages. Look at this. PA22, DA16. Let's go ahead and open that one up. Now, when taking a mathematical approach, all right, that's what I call it, whatever you want to call it, okay? When taking approach and breaking things down and starting to think like a computer, you start to realize that everything is really segmented, and that's how you need to think about your on-page SEO moving into 2020 and especially in 2019 if you want to rank on the first page. So you have your 3 pages open. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is determine how many words are on the pages. So I use a tool, I think it's by the same guys who do Keywords Everywhere, Mongo Tools or something along those lines. So we're going to look at their on page. So we can see that this particular page has 1,300 words. This page has 1,200, 1,300, 1,200, and let's see what this page is working with. The words on page are very important to know. So this one here has 5,600 words. Now, if you take a look and you remember the 11 best plungers, let's just go back to the SERP here. This guy has a very low, he has 0 links. So this page right here is here because of its on-page SEO. So this is really a great example of the page layout that you want to really follow. But generally, I like to take 3. I mean, this is a primary great example of what you want to do. But once you establish your average range, okay, of your words on page, I actually do is I have site 1, site 2, and site 3. We had 1,200, we had 1,300, and then we had 5,600, okay? Now, for this particular example, I would probably really try to mirror what the guy with 5,600 did, but what I would then do is I would calculate an average of the words, and that would be how many words that you need to have on your page, okay? 5,600 plus 1,300 plus 1,200 would bring us to 8,100. We're going to divide that by the 3. That'll bring us to an average word count of 2,700. So now I know my target word count is going to be somewhere around 2,700 words. Now, as you can see here, it's going to go through, you need to go through every single piece on the page. And the key things to look at are going to be, do they have the keywords in their titles? So you want to make sure that your keyword is definitely inside the URL. So you want to make sure that that's a on-page SEO must, okay? So keyword in the URL, so you want to make sure that's in there. 2 out of the 3 have it. Now their meta titles. When you're taking a look at their pages, you'll look at the meta title and you'll see how many times do they put their keyword or a keyword variant inside their meta title. And you would go through down the line. Maybe to make this a lot easier, let me cover the key things that you need to look for when doing your on page. Then you need to go through and at the very bottom, figure out the different variations of word. Down here, okay, if you take a look, these are the different variations, okay? Those are the different variations of words that you can put on your page. Variant words for tub, toilet plunger, Lowe's, toilet plunger, toilet, best plunger for sink. When you're making your content, you're going to want to put these variants on the page. The key factor that I want to get to with this video is you should be going through these 3 pages that you're trying to outrank and figuring out each piece of information. How many words do they have on the page? Do they have iframes? How on the top 3 ranking pages that you chose that are there primarily for their on-page SEO, do they use iframes? And then I would go through, I would fill this out. And how you would do that is you would take a look. Go to your developer tools, and you want to search, do they have iframes? So this guy's using one. Let's go over here to this page. As you can see, I'm going through page by page. This is a mathematical approach. Okay, guys? This is a very key piece of doing your on-page SEO that not a lot of people talk about. I mean, this is not glamorous. This takes a lot of time. But this is how you properly do your on-page SEO in 2019, moving into 2020. We've came to the conclusion that yes, these pages all have one iframe. So we're going to say the average is 1. Now, do they have forms on their page? That's a good question. I would check each and every page that is consistent, that is ranking there because of their on-page. Do they have a form? Right? Do they have tables? Do they have lists on their pages? Are there videos on the pages? You need to check for videos. Go to each one of your competition and look for a video. And that's a pretty simple task. You don't need to really search for that. And maybe that would be something that would give you an edge up. You know, this gentleman does not have a video. Does this gentleman have a video? No, they don't. So they might not have videos. This one does. So your first one, the one that's ranking at the higher level, does have one video. Let's see if they have other videos. That's probably his iframe. He's got one. So he has a video. So I would then go to my sheet and I would say, well, this one right here has a video, but this one doesn't and this one doesn't. However, that's a top page, so I would come to the conclusion that, hey, you know what? I need a video. Now, as far as your images, you need to figure out, this is very important, how many images are on these pages. You need to figure out how many images are on each of those pages. Right, guys? Images are very important. This is content. This is what creates quality content, is your word count. How many images? How many videos? Do I use iframes? Are there lists? Are there order lists? Are there alt tags? How many alt tags are there? Every single thing needs to be figured out for your on-page SEO. That is key. Every single aspect needs to be mathematically calculated to make the perfect page so you can rank. Now, we're not talking about backlinks and off-page, but to rank on page, you need to figure out each and every aspect mathematically to figure out exactly what it takes to get to the first page. I hope I'm making this clear with this video, and I'm just walking through to show you the steps of what I would do and what needs to be done. So I'm looking for JPEGs. This guy has 45. All right, let's take a look at this page. He has 20, so 45, 20, and then this page, 8. So I would go to my sheet. We have 45, 25, 8. I would add those up, brings me to 78. Divide that by 3. Oh, 78 divided by 3, 26. So your average count would be 26. However, I would add as much as I possibly could, but I would say that that's the average, that's the number that you want to hit no matter what. Okay, then I would go in and I would figure out how many of those images have alt tags. And then I would figure out, well, are these alt tags rich as far as keywords? I know that this is a very long and drawn out process, but to properly do your on-page, this is really what it takes. There are some tools to help you along. I use SEO Quake. And SEO Quake will tell you how many how many images are on each page. So what I'm getting at is you're going to walk through each of these things. And let's go through them now. So you need to figure out how many H1s are each of your competition sites using. How many H2s are on the pages? How many H3s? How many H4s? How many H5s? And then 6s, right? Then you need to go through and figure out your anchor texts, how they're interlinking their pages. How many P tags are there? When they're making their pages, how many bold come up with an average? Are they using italic tags? And how many are they using? I would go through each and every one of these things. All your H tags, then your anchor text, your P tags, bold tags, italic tags, how many images, how many alt tags, how many videos, how many lists, that's ordered or unordered. Do they have tables? Do they use forms, iframes, and how many words are on the page? I would go through each of these things and calculate an average for each and every one. Once you calculate your average for each and every one, you will come to a conclusion of the perfect on-page SEO page that you could possibly create. I hope this video was helpful to help you along with your on-page SEO, because that's what it really takes to rank nowadays in 2019. I'm not going to go through each and every one of these things because I think I've really cleared the point here, but this is how you do your on-page SEO. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.